Okay. Hi, Christian. Nice to meet you.
Hi, it's nice to meet you as well.
Yeah. Could you do a little intro about yourself to the audience?
Yeah, sure. My name is Christian Thompson. I'm the managing director of the Sui Foundation. I've been in this role since January. Prior to that, I was the Chief Information Security Officer for Miston Labs. And then before that, I was one of the Chief Information Security Officers for Meta.
Wow. I mean, you have quite an interesting background. I mean, I've been doing a homework, looking it up as well. I mean, and you've been even working with the major techs and also with the Mistin Lab founders even before you joined Sui. So I was just wondering, what are the pivotal moments in your career that led you to Sui?
Yeah, great question. I've been fortunate to have been able to optimize my career to be surrounded by interesting people doing interesting shit.
Okay.
And so I spent a handful of years as a homicide detective. I spent time on a SWAT team. And then I've been fortunate to be an entrepreneur. I've had a few exits as an entrepreneur in chemical engineering and finance and in software development. And so, I think just in general, when you're around amazing people, you get to experience amazing things, and this is no different.
Okay. And is there any moment or experience that made you decide that, I'm going to join Sui?
Well, going back to our time at Meta, we were involved in a project that was really, I think, one of the first that was real focused on building, a stable coin with distribution, right? The idea of bringing financial services to the unbanked or the underbanked was the mission that we were on when we were back at Meta. And the group of people that were assembled to do that were certainly world-class. And a core group of those people are the people that founded Miston Labs. And Miston Labs is the first real core creator of Sui. And I loved being around those people when I was at Facebook. And after they left, I just wanted that back so badly.
Okay.
Because to be around people like that is always intriguing.
Okay. So it's the energy and the people that you surround yourself with.
Yeah, they just don't do anything small.
Okay.
Okay,
wow. I mean, impressive, man. Wow.
Yeah, it's been a good journey for sure. And I love, the mission that we're on right now is really about revolutionizing the next version of the internet. It isn't about building a layer 1 blockchain, although we've done that. It is about creating the tools and having the resources for all participants, businesses, developers, entrepreneurs, builders of one kind or another, even people like consultants and such, to arm them with the tools and resources to allow them to be their most creative self in this next evolution of the internet. I mean, we've been in Web 2 now for 25 years? And so, the next version will happen. I mean, that's a certainty. Technology never stays stale. And so then it becomes, if it's going to happen, what is it going to look like? And we happen to have a take on that. We think it will include the convergence of technology. It'll include AI. It'll include AR, VR. It'll include some amount of quantum. It'll include things like robotics. But the thing that is most intriguing to me is that all of these pieces will converge. And to get all those pieces to converge in a really meaningful way, all of those pieces need coordination. I mean, think about just an AI agent.
Yeah.
For that agent to do something on your behalf,
You need like a orchestrator agent to coordinate other things.
Yeah, you need a coordination layer. And Sui, along with its other primitives, they're the perfect coordination layer. So this is the puck that we're skating to, is that we just know that this is likely what is going to happen. And then you layer on top of that existing Web 2, because that's not going to end. It'll just evolve. And so, yeah, I mean, this journey is just really interesting to watch us as a global community usher in the next version of the internet.
Wow. So that's the grand vision of Sui.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. And I mean, talking about Sui though, I mean, we know that there's there's different type of blockchain. There's a different type of blockchain, and also each blockchain have different use case.
Yeah.
Is there any thing that Sui? Is there any specific use case that Sui are built for, or is it more like a general purpose blockchain? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. Really at the end of the day, though, infrastructure has to be general in nature, right? If it's pigeonholed to be able to do only one thing, it doesn't really serve a wide community. So Sui has built, like purpose-built, for a few things. It's built to be able to handle scale. So everybody knows it's super fast. It's really inexpensive to run. It's totally scalable. The way that it's built, its object-centric model allows people to be very creative. Really, at the end of the day, it is suited to people being able to build in a very creative way, but it's also built for scale. So when you think of large enterprise, institution, government, large business, I mean, we come from a place, Facebook, where we were serving, 3.5 billion people per day. And that's the scale of product that Sui and its very primitive, its various primitives are built to serve. At the same time, it serves entrepreneurs that are building a brand new project and they want to release it to a small community. It does that too. The best part about Sui, though, is that it infinitely scales.
Oh, okay. So basically, you would say that it's a general purpose blockchain that could go deep, go specialized, and can handle a lot of transactions in that sense.
It can definitely handle a lot of transactions, that's to be sure. But again, there are primitives that are required to be able to do the internet right? If you believe in things like decentralization, ownership of your own assets, these kinds of things, there are some key things about the way we think about Web3 today that are sort of broken, right? So like if you look at NFTs as an example, like I'm a big believer in the power of NFTs ultimately, not just as an image file, but the power, the things that you could do with an NFT. Today, on many blockchains, you have an NFT that's represented on the blockchain as effectively a URL. That URL leads to a storage instance that's off-chain. And so the problem with that is ultimately is that the moment you stop paying that bill, it's gone. Right? And so if you're going to create a system where there is certainty that things survive, it has to be built on decentralization. It has to be built on core concepts like that. And so we've built the first decentralized programmable storage called Walrus. And that is on-chain storage. So this is one of those instances that if you upload, NFTs on-chain, you don't lose them. There's no, these are forever living at that point. You could choose to burn them intentionally, but you would have to do that intentionally.
Okay. Wow. Interesting. Do you think today we have too many blockchain? Do you think so? Is that because Sui? Okay, I think that's something because everyone right now are trying to build their own blockchain, right? And then we've been seeing so many blockchain being built, being deployed. Do you think that's too many blockchain or L1 out there at the current time?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. What I do know, though, is that a blockchain is not enough. You have to have all of the pieces of a puzzle to be able to have the puzzle. And so a blockchain is not the be-all and end-all. You have to have a full developer stack. You have to have storage. You have to have, things like access control, secrets management, right? You've got to be able to have these kinds of components and tool sets available to builders to be able to do, anything of any import. And so, do I think there's too many blockchains? Who knows? The market will decide that ultimately. But I do believe that to do this at scale, to usher in the next version of the internet, you need a full stack of things, not just a blockchain.
Okay. And I mean, do you see this as some kind of race that Sui have to race against with the other chain? And if so, I mean, how do you manage to stay ahead?
Well, I mean, you just look at what we've built. We're way ahead. I mean, we've done an amazing amount of progress over the last, just few years. We've only been out for 3 years, right? I mean, some of these chains have been out, 10, 15 years. We've played an amazing catch-up game as far as that goes. I have no doubt that we will gain acceleration from here.
With all the infrastructure you're building, with all the communities and events you are pushing on your end.
Yeah, I mean, we really took the Amazon model, right? I mean, Amazon started with books. They were a bookseller. And, you look at what Amazon does today, it's definitely was never about books. Yep. It was about proving their model and then using that model across, various product lines. We've done a very similar thing. We've been real focused in on DeFi and gaming. We've put a lot of effort, and we'll continue to put a lot of effort into those areas. But it has been over the last 6-8 months where we've really started to pull the curtain back to show people what we actually can do. And that's where you've seen us gain a lot of ground, is that it's not just about one or two things that we can do well. There's a lot of things that we can bring a lot of value to business. We can bring a lot of value to enterprise. We can make meaningful contribution to a company's, both top and bottom line.
Okay, interesting. And I mean, yeah, definitely, because I mean, first time you guys launch, you guys are pushing hard on games. I mean, there's a lot of critiques as well, right? Okay, why does Sui pushing on game? It doesn't make sense or whatsoever. But then once you demonstrate all the things you could do, not just gaming, right? DeFi, gaming, storage, and the other sectors you guys are tackling. I mean, that makes sense on what you guys are trying to showcase as a whole.
Yeah, but we're gamers. I mean, there's almost nobody on our staff that isn't a gamer. So for us,
okay, that's the reason why.
So for us, it's a super fun place to work, anyways. And so, I mean, you have to have fun while you're working.
Yeah,
too,
that's true.
Right?
That's true.
So, what I mean? It's great.
So it's purely coming from the passion you have.
Yeah, I mean, there's a huge passion for gaming for us. I mean, we just released, the first handheld device, Web3 based, Sui Play OX1. That's really shipping here very soon. I mean, we are clearly passionate about this particular space. It's just super dynamic, really interesting builders. The idea of being able to own your own skins and pieces is that's amazing. To be able to trade them and own them, and it's perfect.
Okay, wow. I mean, I can feel the passion there that it's coming out.
I want it. I want it for myself.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, I seen the real one, and it's looking very good, man.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. And I mean, back into the builder and ecosystem side, I mean, you guys are doing a very good job in terms of onboarding all the developers and builders. And most of the some of the Sui developers are the first-time builders. Some are making a good progress on building. I mean, what are the reasons that people choose to build on Sui? Since you've been able to bring on a lot of first-time developer actually and builders.
Yeah.
And not just first-time, existing builders that also move to Sui.
Yeah, I mean, there's a number of reasons. One, move is very easy to learn. So it's not incredibly challenging to do so. We've even got whole boot camps that we've stood up to be able to educate developers. So if a developer is interested in learning how to code in Move and understand all of our feature sets and SDKs and primitives, we will put developers through a camp that will, after a few weeks, they come out of that, ready to build.
Okay, how long does it take?
I mean, they can be as short as 2 weeks. They can be up to 6 weeks. It's really about how deep do you want to go.
But I mean, do they need to have an initial background or knowledge before starting that?
I mean, it's certainly good to have coding experience, right? I mean, to be somewhat of a software engineer, to be able to, really get it. But once you have that sort of under your belt, if what you want to do is build in Web3 and support the convergence of technology, including AI, then it's not all that incredibly difficult. Now, why would you choose, a Move-based language over something else? Builders are incredibly creative, and you don't want to limit yourself right out of the gate. There's already so many limitations to business already that the idea that you don't avail yourself of the most creative palette out there available to you is insane. That's insane to me. Okay. Of course you will. You should definitely avail yourself of all the optionality that is available. And the only place that's really available, especially if you want to scale your business, is at Sui. So, from that perspective, I think it's just, one, we'll put people through a school. Two, it's just incredibly flexible. Three, we've got an amazing community. I mean, just look outside here, right? We've got an amazing community of people that are involved in this, and it's only going to grow. And so we welcome really capable, good people to come and build, and we're here to support them.
Okay, wow. Well, I mean, I heard a lot about Sui, and then, I mean, some of the developers say that it's a very good tech to be built on, like what you said. So, and also you do emphasize quite a lot of efforts on the community side as well. So I would love to know a bit about your community initiative, and also what are you pushing here in Southeast Asia for communities? Yeah,
I'm super excited about Southeast Asia. Okay. It's a little new for me. I've spent a lot of time in Europe, so of course spent a lot of time in North America, and we've spent a lot of time in the Middle East. Southeast Asia is a little newer for us. We've made a lot of investment here, but we're here for a reason. We actually really believe in the Thai communities in particular. We definitely think that there are a lot of very creative people here. There's a lot of very interesting initiatives that are happening. The builder community here is quite interesting. The retail community here is quite interesting. The regulatory environment is starting to change in a real meaningful way. And so once you start getting all of those pieces that are just sort of, really starting to stand themselves up at some real number, you get magic there. And so we're here to really figure out exactly where it is we can pour gasoline on that fire, because I think there's real opportunity here, and we're excited about it.
Okay, interesting. And any example of the initiative you are pushing hard to the Southeast Asia communities, like let's say university outreach, developer grants, investment, fundraisings?
Yeah, I mean, all of those things are available here for sure. We will, we're holding events here. That's happening. Grants are always available. So anybody that's building, something interesting, definitely encourage them to reach out to the foundation, because those grants are always available. I think one of the bigger efforts that we'll start pushing is our boot camps, and us really reaching out to developers and making sure that they're well educated. The jobs in Web3 pay incredibly well. And so the more I think that people can educate themselves and be able to get really high paying jobs is one piece. The other piece is on the entrepreneurial side. I mean, we are quite willing to support entrepreneurs in meaningful ways. For enterprise and business and government, we will make meaningful connection for them and help them build in a way that meets their own goals, their own business objectives, and does so at scale. So, this is really about like a very wide community of people and doing our level best that when we're in a market like Thailand, that we're doing so in a way that, we put our stake in the ground. We let everybody know that we're here and we're here to stay. So that's you'll see us do a number of things. Some things may be, real centered on just Thailand. We may end up doing things just here that we don't do anywhere else.
Any sneak peek you could tell us about?
Well, I mean, we have some things, that we're cooking up, but not quite ready to announce them.
Oh, okay. Okay, all right. They will be waiting.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. A few last things. I mean, I know this is off a script, but I mean, I really want to hear about hear more about what you talk about the convergence of all of the technology. I feel that this is some of the things that not a lot of people are seeing on how it goes, right?
Yeah.
And you have AI there, you have crypto there, you have robotics there. I mean, I think people see different parts of the technology on what they see right now.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know what's your visions or how do you see it in the futures on how all of the different new sectors converge.
Yeah.
And how would the future look like?
No technology lives by itself, right? If you look at things like batteries, as an example, and then you look at, really basic things like electronics of one kind or another, right? And in the last 10 or 15 years, you look at what we've done with cars and with batteries and with electronics, right? You look at basic things like the telephone, right? Look at where we've come from the telephone that hangs on the wall, that is a rotary phone, to now full video conferencing, literally on your phone, in your pocket, anywhere, anytime. And so technologies converge naturally. That's the way things go. And so, and we as a human species will always optimize for experiential kinds of things, right? And so you can imagine for sure, like let's say identity as an example, right? You want your own identity to be one, secure, right? You want to be able to control who has access to it and why. The same thing exists for your medical records, let's say, right? But there's a lot of areas where you want privacy, and those things are important, right? But then also, I mean, if you're like me anyways, if I need a doctor's appointment, I don't really want to call my doctor's appointment and wait on hold, trying to figure out when my schedule is going to work. What I would really like to do is just pick up my phone and say, hey, can you make me a doctor's appointment for my thing in the next couple of weeks? And then set the phone down and then have your agent go to wherever your identity is, validate that your identity is who you say it is. That's important, right? And that your insurance is valid and available. And then contact your doctor and make sure that it is in fact the right doctor for whatever it is you're wanting to go to, and that they have a time and space for you, and that it meets your calendar, right? And then they book that meeting. To do just that very basic thing requires a fair amount of coordination. Your identity, your calendar, your insurance, their availability and location and all of those things, right? And so, like, these are the kinds of things that require, for instance, a blockchain. You can put your identity on a blockchain behind a wall that is provisioned by you, that's super secure, but still allows you that connectivity across like time and space where you can, interact. So on the AI side, that's one kind of thing. I mean, on the robotics side, like one of the areas I'm super excited about is, alarm systems.
Okay. Like a security guard.
Yeah. I mean, I'm super excited about even at my own home where, somebody comes up to my gate and a little drone goes out and identifies who they are. Like these kinds of things are super interesting, and be able to have them all connected in a way that's really meaningful. All of these kinds of things are very, very possible, and require a new kind of infrastructure to be able to do that in a real meaningful way.
And do you think Sui would serve that infrastructure?
Oh, 100%.
I mean, how exactly?
Well, I mean, like, as an example, like I have a farm, right? That farm does not have great internet, right? But we've built a piece of technology that we call internetless transactions. It allows us to effectively conduct business across a blockchain without the internet, right? So you can pre-program effectively robotics to do things in meaningful ways and be able to transact without any internet.
Oh, okay.
And so there's things like that if you don't have connectivity, you can't do.
So basically the communication and the transactional layers.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Very interesting. Okay, I'll let you leave a few words for Thai communities that will be watching this video.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we're super excited to be here. Thailand's been amazing for us so far. We definitely appreciate all the hospitality. The food is amazing. I just don't ever want to leave, even just as a result of that, for sure. But we're excited to be here and make investment, and we're here to stay. So.
All right. Thank you, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
All right. Thanks, man.
Thanks.